The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone, or afternoon or evening. My name is Jeremy Walsh, and I am the Director of Support, Training, and Documentation for BNI Connect. I'd like to welcome everybody to the webinar today. Today's webinar is Building VCP with BNI Connect. One of the most important things that we can do once we log into BNI Connect for the first time, or even if you've been logged in for a while, is to make sure that our profiles are fully up to date. After all, what we're doing when people look at our profiles on BNI Connect is we're building visibility, credibility, and hopefully at some point profitability with them as well. And there's a number of different places where your profile and the things that you enter into your profile will show up in BNI Connect. And those are the things that we're going to discuss today, both how to update the profile, so where do we go in BNI Connect to fill out all these things, where does it show, and maybe some tips and tricks and techniques so that you're getting the most out of your profile. Today's webinar is being recorded, so if you have any questions while we're going through, please do feel free to ask those questions. There is a questions panel. That webinar is scheduled for 30 minutes of content, but I'm always happy to stay on these webinars until all questions are answered. Once the webinar is complete, it will be uploaded and available on our YouTube site. Our YouTube site, and if you want to check out the screen here, is youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. So you can find many previously recorded webinars up here, including a special note from Dr. Meisner. So please do check us out, youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. You can also get to the webinars anytime by clicking on the question mark within BNI Connect, and that will take you to the support site. Once you click there, or you can always just go to support.bniconnect.com, you'll see our list of upcoming webinars. But then if you scroll down to the bottom to the training section, you'll see a webinar section, and this has the webinars month by month. In chronological order, so you can check them out there as well. So let's get started on today's content. And again, this is a live webinar, so if you have any questions during the webinar, please do raise them as we're going along, and there'll be plenty of time at the end as well. So let's talk about VCP a little bit. Again, visibility, credibility, and profitability. Now, we're getting testimonials on a daily basis of people that are receiving referrals online through BNI Connect just by having their profile filled out. Let me tell you a story of something that happened to me a couple of months ago. I'm a member here in Rhode Island. I've been a member of the Wakefield chapter here for about 10 years now, I think 11 years at this point. And a client walked into my office and they said, listen, you know, I have an in-house bookkeeper, but, you know, they're getting to some stuff that's a little bit more advanced than they can handle. Do you know anybody that knows QuickBooks? I need a referral to a certified QuickBooks consultant. You know, in my head, I'm doing backflips. I'm saying, yes, I absolutely do know somebody. I have somebody in my chapter, a QuickBooks certified consultant. They can teach you all these advanced things. It'll be great. And I really wanted to use BNI Connect to pass this referral. What I wanted to do was to go to our website and print out his profile so we had more than just a little tiny business card. So what I did was, and I'm going to go to our test site here because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I went to the website, I went to find a member, I put his name in, I did a search for him, and I came up with his profile. And this is very similar to what displayed on the screen at the time. There was no picture. There was no the contact details or contact information. He actually, it was one step worse because he had the contact details hidden on his profile. So all it really had here was the city name. It had his name, his company name, and the chapter that he was in. Nothing else. I had really wanted to just print this out, give it to my client, and say, here's the guy to call. Now, I ended up taking out a little yellow sticky note and writing his phone number down on a piece of paper. Unfortunately, my red binder was sitting on the front seat of my car. That didn't build very good visibility or credibility for this member. Now, if somebody had gone instead, and let's go to my own regional website, and somebody was doing a search for me, or somebody was looking for, let's say, a computer consultant, they would do a search, and hopefully they'd find me in this list, They'd get to my profile, and this is what they would see. It's a little bit more. So it has my picture, it has my phone number, it has my mobile phone number, my website, my physical address, all of my social media links that they can just click right through and go check me out on Facebook, go check me out on LinkedIn, on Twitter, Pinterest, and all of those different social media sites. They have my logo. They have a description of my business. They know what a good client is for me. They know what a good top problem and top problem solves. This is a credibility builder. And people are using BNI Connect every single day, especially from region to region. So I just got an email from somebody that was looking for support on something else, but what they said was, somebody from the West Coast, I believe that they were in Washington State, referred to them in Georgia because they had somebody that needed some help across the country. People know, like, and trust BNI members because we hold ourselves to a higher standard. So make sure that your credibility is spot on when people find you online. So let's take a look. On the inside of BNI Connect, the same thing is happening. So when people are connecting with other people on the inside of BNI Connect, we usually do that here through the search people. Now the difference is that this profile, anybody in the world can see this profile. So anybody that searches for you on the internet, either just doing a Google search, or if they are on your regional website and they're looking for a specific type of profession, they will find you and they will see this. You do not have to be a BNI member to get to this profile. The inside of BNI Connect, once you're logged into BNI Connect, that's a little bit different. This one you do have to be a BNI member for. Now, to find people in BNI Connect, we're going to click on this little magnifying glass. Now, the magnifying glass is the find anybody that's an active BNI member in the world function. You can search by name and keyword, and you can search by country. So let's say that somebody was searching for me. They would do a search for my name, and in a few seconds, it's now scouring all 60,000 or so memberships in the United States and coming up with matches. And it comes up with this match. Now, this is my inside of BNI Connect profile. So this is what other BNI members see when they see me. So they can see all of my roles that I hold in BNI. They can see my name, my industry, my business description, my keywords company, my contact details, my address. On the inside of BNI Connect, you can see a little bit more, though. They can also view my bio. So my 60-second presentations. Why is it good to fill out 60-second presentations? Well, there's 140,000 members in BNI. I can almost guarantee you that 139,950 of them will never hear you speak your 60-second presentation. Why not share it with a larger audience? People will read this on your profile, your gains profile and your tops profile as well. They can also see and connect with all the people that you're connected to. They can read your testimonials. There's also a photo sharing gallery, and it looks like your screen is paused for a second, so I'll just wait for that to catch up. Okay, your screen is caught up. So there's also the testimonials that people can read. There's a photo sharing gallery as well where you can share photos, and you can even upload, if you'd like to, testimonials from your clients as long as you can save them as some type of a picture file. You can upload those as well. They can see and even join the groups that you're participating in, and they can see your training history. So how do we update all this information to make sure that we are absolutely putting our best face and our best credentials forward in order to increase our visibility, credibility, and profitability through BNI Connect? Well, the way we do that, at least most of it, is done through the My Account button in the upper right-hand corner. So by clicking on the My Account button, this will bring you into the back-end editing portion of your profile. And you can see it's set up very similar to the way that your profile is viewed by other people, except that you can make changes to it. It's broken into a number of different tabs along the top here that house the information. So the first one is your main profile. The second one is your user profile. The third one is all of your contact details. The fourth one is your account settings, or the permissions on your account. The fifth one is your bio. And the final one is your training history. So let's start going through this, and let's take a look at what is on each of these tabs. So the first tab here is your main profile. And here you can verify that your name and your company name are correct. You can change your gender if you need to, or change your title. Now, for those of you in the United States, and we do have an international audience on the call, welcome Yui Ogawa from Japan on the call today. The VAT reference number is probably something that you may not be aware of here in the United States. VAT stands for Value Added Tax, and it's similar to our sales tax here, but each business in a lot of, especially European countries, have a VAT number associated with their business, and that's something that they can store in their profile. Now, here in the United States, you can just leave that blank. If you are in another country that requires that, then you can enter that here. The next couple of things, we can't edit these directly, but you can verify the information. So verify that your industry or classification is correct. And if this is listed as something that may not be what you do, talk to your membership committee of your chapter and talk to your director consultant of your chapter, and they'll be able to help you to, from our list of professions in BNI, make sure that it's the closest one possible and make those changes for you. But again, please talk to your regional office, your director consultant, and the membership committee of your chapter if that needs to be changed. It will also show you the chapter that you're active in and what your membership status is, whether it's active or if it's late. Now, the next two fields are where we need to start spending a little bit more time and care when we're entering this information. The first one is the My Business description. Now, the My Business description is really your elevator pitch. So if you've ever gone to a networking event, such as a Chamber of Commerce mixer or even open networking at your BNI meeting, and you talk to somebody for the first time, maybe it's a visitor that's come to your chapter, and you need to quickly tell them all about your business in 30 seconds or less because they had no idea what you did before. That's kind of what we're looking to put into this My Business field. A brief description, maybe 30 seconds or so worth of what it is that you do. What are your special services? What's your target market? Very succinctly to explain to somebody that has no idea what you do, what it is that you do. Now, why is this important? This one is one of the fields that appears both on the public side and on the logged in portion of BNI Connect. So if I go back to my public profile up here, up on the internet, and again, this is available to anybody in the world that finds me, this is the My Business description. It's here in this grayish box. Now, just so you know, these changes happen immediately. There's no having to wait 24 hours or special publishing techniques or anything. Your public profile will pull immediately from the inside of BNI Connect. So you can make the changes here. So let's say that I wanted to rewrite this paragraph and put in some new information. I could do that and click Update. Now, as soon as that is saved, this information will change. All I need to do is refresh the page, or the very next person that viewed this page will see my new business description here. So the changes, again, are immediate. Now, I don't really want that to say that, so let me put that previous description back. So do take a few minutes to make sure that your My Business description is apt for what it is that you can tell people that know nothing about your business in a very short span of time. Now, the next section on here is the keywords. Now, why are keywords important? Well, keywords are important because this is how people are going to find you when they don't know your name. Keywords are member-driven, so it's your responsibility to pick out things that you want to be found for and enter them into the keywords field. It holds about 200 characters, I believe, so we can't write a novel, but we do need to pick some good words. If you're unsure of what words, this is a great topic of conversation for a one-to-one. So when you're sitting down at your next one-to-one, you can just ask, hey, if you were looking for my services based on what you understand about what I do, you were looking for my services on the internet, what words would you use to search for me? Or talk to your search engine optimization person in your chapter and see if they can help you with that. Now, these are extra important because, again, when we're out on the internet, people are browsing the internet, they want to do find a member, you want to make sure that your words are found when they search for you. So if people are looking for computer repair, they're going to find all of the people that have computer repair as their first choices. Now, even though that's something my company does, I didn't put that into my keywords, so I'm not being found here in the top searches. It is showing my name in the next set of searches because it had the word computer in it, but by that point, people are probably contacting these first people. So if I want to be found for computer repair, I do need to make sure that I have the word repair in my keywords. So what I may want to do is to go back here and edit my words here and make sure maybe I have repair in here instead of support. Now once I click update, that change does take place immediately. So if I go back and I go back to the find a member search and I do a search for computer repair, my name, you can see, now appears in the search results. So this increases my chances of getting business from both members and non-BNI members that are looking for services on our regional website. Again, one thing that people overlook is that when people leave BNI, a lot of times they still like to use BNI people for services. So where are they going to turn? They can't log into BNI Connect anymore. So they're going to turn to your regional website in order to find services of people that they know, like, and trust. So make sure that your keywords are filled out with appropriate things that you want to be found for in BNI. Now the next tab here has to do with your user profile. And you can change your username. You can make your username anything you'd like it to be. To do that, just click on the Change Username button. Type in a new username. It can't include any spaces, but other than that, as long as it's something that isn't being used by somebody else out there, you can pick your own username. You can also change your password to whatever it would like to be, especially if you end up losing your password and you need to do the password reset process. Make sure that you go back in and change the password to something that you will remember for the next time. Now, the memorable question and answer is the challenge response if you forget your password. Now, what does that look like? Well, let me switch over to my other screen here for a second. If you forget your password, you can click on the Lost Username or Password link. Clicking there, it will ask you what your email address. Now, this is the email address that is listed in your profile, and it will be where it will send the new password to. So make sure you put in your email address as it is in your profile. Now, once you click Tab, you have to click down in the answer field. You'll see that your memorable question shows up, and you need to answer that question correctly. One thing to keep in mind is that that answer is case sensitive. So it's case and space sensitive. So if you remember from my profile, I asked what my daughter's nickname was, and my daughter's name is Olivia. So her nickname that I put in was Livy. But this answer with a lowercase l is different than this answer with a capital L, which is also different from Livy with two V's. So be careful when you're setting up your memorable question and answer because it does need to be exact. Let me switch back over to my other screen here. Now you can also choose your language. BNI Connect is translated into about 45 different languages, including about 10 different versions of English. So make sure if you're in the United States especially, make sure you're using the English US version and or any other language that you'd like to see BNI Connect in. You can also change your image and your company logo. You can do that by clicking on the Change Company Logo or Change Profile Picture. They'll both take you to the same place. If there's no image there, you would just see a blank placeholder. Let's say that I wanted to change my company logo. What I would do is click on the Attach Image button, which is a magnifying glass, and this will allow you to search your computer for a new image that you'd like to put up there. So let me find my logo here, and let's say that I wanted to replace my support logo with one of my business logos. I can save it. If I need to crop the image to maybe take some empty space out, I could do that. And then click Save. And now this will replace my logo with the current one. Now the next tab is all of your contact details. Now it gives you the opportunity to put in all sorts of information here, including your phone number, direct number, home number, mobile number, pager number, voicemail number, toll-free number, carrier pigeon number, smoke signal number, whichever numbers you'd like to put into this particular field, you can. You can also put your email address. Now your email address, keep in mind that this is a unique field, so it does have to be a unique email address that is not used by anybody else in the system. The email address also, this is where all of the communications from BNI Connect will go to. So when your regional office needs to email you, or when another person in BNI needs to email you, and even up on the regional websites, if I go back to my profile, you'll see that there's a send message button here. This allows people in the outside world to be able to send you an email requesting services without displaying your email address. So your email is never displayed publicly on the public website, on the regional website, but people can still email you by using this send message. But this is the email address that those communications will go to, the one that's listed on your profile. You can also put your company's website address in, and do make sure it has the http:// in front of it, and a whole bunch of different social networking links. Now the next two sections, you'll notice that there are two different addresses that you can enter into BNI Connect, a primary address and a billing address. Now the primary address is the one that will show up on the public websites. So that's why we give you the opportunity to put two different addresses in here. The billing address is the address that the regional office will use if they need to contact you for any reason or send you anything in the mail. The top address is, again, the one that will appear on the regional website. So again, looking at my profile, this is the address that will appear on the profile. Now, if you happen to have a private home address, working out of your house, or you just don't want people to know your physical location, my recommendation is to make sure that your real address that people need to contact you from the office is listed in your billing address, but put something into this primary address as by appointment only, or just the word private. And that will allow you to still display all of your other contact information, like your phone numbers, without having to reveal your personal address. If you make any changes on any of these pages, do make sure to hit the Update button at the bottom of the screen. And you'll see a little Saved flash right under the Update button. Now I'm going to skip the Account Settings tab for just a second and go right over to the Bio. Now, the My Bio section at the top here is the same bio that we've been using for years and years and years, usually before you do a 10-minute presentation at your chapter. This is the same questions that your secretary-treasurer would hand to you. Now you don't have to wait to get that form. You can fill it out ahead of time and always have it on hand. Also great before a one-to-one. So it just has your years in business, types of jobs, spouse, children, pets, hobbies and interests, cities, years, burning desire, and something no one knows about you, and my key to success. One thing to keep in mind is that the years in business does need to be a number, and it does need to be a whole number. And do make sure as the years progress in BNI to go back and update this information on a regular basis. Now, the next two things are the commercials. Again, it's a great idea to store a few commercials up there in BNI Connect. As I said before, most people that may be looking up your profile in BNI Connect will never hear you give a live 60-second presentation. This could be a great source of referrals as people are looking at your profiles. Another hidden reason for keeping commercials on there, I'm sure this has never happened to you, but you realize at the last minute that you're not going to be able to make your chapter meeting the next morning. Now, you manage at the last minute to call somebody up and get a substitute to go for you, but there's no way for you to get them a 60-second commercial ahead of time. So you have two choices. They can wing it, or you can call up one of your chapter members and say, hey, by the way, I can't make the meeting tomorrow. Can you do me a favor? Can you print out one of the 60 seconds on my profile and give it to my substitute? Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. And now you'll be able to have a proper 60 seconds given for you instead of them making it up on the spot. Now, the gains profile, if you think back to your member success program, we talk about the gains exchange. Now, that's the goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. And before a one-to-one, we should be exchanging this information ahead of time to make the one-to-one much more effective. Now, we can do that right through BNI Connect as long as we have our gains profile filled out ahead of time. And there's a special report in the system where you can print this out or you can email a copy of this to people, but you do need to make sure that the gains profile is filled out first. Now, as you're filling this information out online in BNI Connect, you want to frequently hit the update button down below. There is a 30-minute timeout in BNI Connect, so if you are filling out some of this information and you get pretty far and all of a sudden it's dinner time and you get called away from the computer or you take a phone call and you don't come back to it for an hour, the system will log you out, and unless you've hit the update button at the bottom, you will have lost the information. So do make sure that you save on a regular basis. Hit the update button at the bottom. And the final part of the profile is the TOPS profile. And this constitutes the ideal referral, the top product, top problem solved, your favorite BNI story, and your ideal referral partner. Now, if you're strategizing on, oh my goodness, this is a ton of information I need to fill out, I would recommend filling out the TOPS profile first. And the reason for that is because this TOPS profile is the one that appears here in this bottom section of your profile on the public website. So in order to have maximum visibility and maximum credibility, get this one filled out first. So the things that are on this profile is your picture, your logo, the My Business description, the keywords so that you can be found, and your TOPS profile. Now, the training history is a read-only. You can review your training history here and make sure that the events that you've gone to over the past few years do appear up here in your profile. If something's missing, just calmly contact your regional office. They do have the ability to add things into this training history on your profile. All right, let's go back. We're just about at the bottom of the hour. The account settings is where you control what you want other people to see of your profile when they find you online. Now, the member-to-member section, that's when people find you inside BNI Connect. and you can choose which of those tabs you'd like to share with everybody, with just your connections, or with nobody at all. The next section is the public websites. Again, that's the public profile on your regional website. You can choose to opt out completely of the regional websites if you would like to. You can choose to turn off that send message or send email button, and you can choose to hide your contact details. Now, if you're going to have an online profile, I highly recommend not hiding your details, and I'll show you why. Because if I hide my public details and I refresh the page up here, you'll notice that it hides everything, including my phone numbers. So if you're worried that if you have a private home address, use the other technique of putting in private or by appointment only and leaving this checked. So the next two sections are your group post emails. If you're participating in groups, you will get an email notification when people make posts. You can get one every time a post is added, once a day, once a week, or not at all. And finally, with the social media portions, you can get notified of when people request a connection from you, or if they send you an internal message within BNI Connect. So we are at the bottom of the hour. I do want to thank everybody for their time today. If you need to leave immediately, all of this webinar, including the upcoming questions, will be recorded and posted onto our YouTube channel at youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. They'll also be listed on the support site. You can get there by clicking the question mark within BNI Connect. If you have a minute, please also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/BNI Connect Global. We do webinar reminders, tips, tricks, upgrade announcements, and all sorts of things up there as well. If you found this webinar helpful, a good referral for me is to please go back to your chapter, go back to your regions, and let them know about these webinars. We hold webinars on all different topics, usually anywhere between 12 and 20 live webinars on a monthly basis. And we would love to get the knowledge out of our heads and into yours. So a good referral for me is please let your fellow chapter members and region know about these webinars. So I would like to open this up to any questions. Does anybody have any questions today? I'd love to answer those. Excellent. If there are no questions, again, I look forward to seeing you all on the next webinar. The next scheduled webinar is going to be on April 19th, which is a director-only forum, and April 22nd for member tools and reports, all those things that you may be afraid to click on in BNI Connect, and the tons of different reports and how to email your chapter, and all great things that you can do once you're logged into BNI Connect, and that's on April 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific and noon Eastern. Thank you, everybody, for your time today. Have a wonderful week, and happy connecting.